राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार जगत गुरु श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुग गौड़ीय गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंद आदि श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम छय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। Jai, all the periodicals of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda ki jai, and those periodicals of his followers ki jai. She the rays of the Harmonists ki jai. The original Harmonist, Sajan Toshani ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Let's start the Mangalacharan and then I'll talk. One second. Let me get it up. Ajnanaतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती विदितो गौड़ीय गौरवन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभात गगने योगोर संकीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलो दरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवानिमान् कृष्ण प्रेम सुदाब्दिकाहन सुखं प्रादत् प्रभुं तं भजे।
बोल के दियो जगन्नाथ देव चरणामृत
जय हो हरि हो। ठीक है
अनुपम आया ना।
हाँ
वो पूरी के अनुपम आया।
अच्छा बहुत sorry. Okay, I just got Jagannath Charnamrita from Puri. Okay, Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupano Gavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshaya क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्गमध्ये Kripa tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our 11th, 11th Raise of the Harmonist Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī session. Dandavat pranams, everyone who's there. Let's see, Shri Devi Didi, Kana Haladar Prabhu, Anari Krishna Prabhu, Aditi Das, Krishna Mai Didi, Ashray Prabhu, Yashoda Didi, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is all there. 1 second, just opening it up. Oh, Sharmaji and a few other devotees. I only see the names of people who write comments though, but pranams everybody. All right, so it's been a long time since we've had our last Raise of the Harmonist Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī. I've been really slack with that. And late last night at 10:30 p.m., I went to look at the calendar. I was like, I wonder when Krishna Panchami, it should be coming up now. And oh my God, it's tomorrow morning. So normally I send out the article that we're reading today. I usually send it out 24 hours in advance. Like yesterday at this exact same time, I post the article on the Raise of the Harmonist mailing list. The Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī Raise of the Harmonist mailing list. There are 2 Raise of the Harmonist mailing lists. I usually send it out on that, but I wasn't able to do that this time. And so maybe I'll post it later on today so that you could have it in your inbox. But yeah, sorry, that didn't give anybody any time to prepare for this. Didn't prepare for it myself either. So we're all reading it for the first time. And then today is, I forgot, in the Jaidvani, I didn't mention Jai Shri Vakreshwar Pandit ki Jai, Tatiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki Jai. So today's Vakreshwar Pandit's appearance day, and at the end, if anybody needs to go, that's totally fine. But for those who are able to stay longer, then I'd like to read about Vakreshwar Pandit from Sri Chaitanya and his associates by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta with Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. So if anybody wants to join that also, that will be at the end. Oh, and another thing I found, we'll get there. But okay, since I started. In this article, Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda, he refers to an article by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Bhaktisiddhānta Virudh and Rasabhas. And so I found that article on bhaktivinodinstitute.com. So if there's time, then maybe we could read that article as well. Hare Krishna Shubhananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri Prabhu. Haribol. All right, so let's begin. Oh, and this is an Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī. So if at any point there's anything anybody wants to discuss, then you could either jump in or you can raise your hand. So either way, but yeah, feel free if you get inspired, some idea, like something like a question or any points that you want to mention, feel free to jump in at any moment. All right, sharing my screen again. All right. Only hear from Shri Guru by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda. And this article was published it was translated from the weekly Gauḍīya, year 9, issue 7, September 1930. And it was translated into English for the first time by Raise of the Harmonist. It was published in the 2010 Kārtika issue of Raise of the Harmonist. I think it's number 22 or number 23. Can't remember. Okay, so only hear from Sri Guru by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda. On Wednesday, 16 September 1930, in the late evening, the renowned landlord of Nadia district, Shri Nafar Chandra Pala Chaudhary, known by the title Bhakti Bhushan, arrived at the Bhajan Mandir of Śrīla Prabhupada at the Sri Gauḍīya Math situated at number 1 Ultadingi Junction Road, Kolkata. And this is right next to our math, just a 15-minute walk away from our math in Kolkata. So if anybody wants to go there, oh, and it's beautiful. Oh my God, ISKCON got control of it, over it, and they did an amazing job, just a brilliant job at restoring it and trying to keep it how it was originally. And yeah, so if anybody's in Kolkata, I highly recommend you go to here. It's called Bhakti Vinod Asan. Okay, so Sri Nafara Chandra was a contemporary of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and was the executive officer for the committee of Sri Navadvip Dham Pracharini Sabha, the association for the widespread acclaim of Sri Navadvip Dham. And in our Sunday Dainak Nadia Prakash readings, I think we had like 7 readings or something detailing the one of the Navadvip Dham Pracharini Sabha functions. Yeah, like every day they publish a little bit more about it. And so, yeah, I guess Nafara Chandra is the executive officer for that. For quite a few days, he had regularly come to Sri Śrīla Prabhupada to hear Hari Katha from him. These were the questions he asked. Nafar Babu. Before, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was present, I saw that practically every year in Sri Mayapur, during the birth festival of Sriman Mahaprabhu, performance artists like Ganesh Kirtaniya used to sing Lila Kirtan. Lila Kirtan is theatrical songs that depicts the pastimes of Shri Shri Radha Krishna. And Lila Kirtan is a very common, like very famous thing in Bengal. You'll hear, there are many different famous Lila Kirtaniya singers, Suman Bhattacharya, Radharani Gosvāmī, God, what are some other names? Anyways, there's so many. And what they do is they tell pastime. It's a whole style of kirtan, but they will tell pastimes, not just of Radha and Krishna, but of Mahaprabhu and all different kinds of pastimes. But throughout telling the pastime, there's lots of singing, and like, you know, they'll sing different songs related to each scene of the pastime. And so, yeah, so it's like a theatrical kirtan performance going through a lila. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur had no objection to it. If it is true that Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta, that one should follow in the footsteps of the Mahajans, then why do you object to hearing Lila Kirtan? Śrīla Prabhupāda, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda. I do not object to Shravan, to hearing, and Kirtan and chanting of the pastimes of Sri Hari. Indeed, the pastimes of Sri Hari are the only subjects that should be heard and chanted, for only then can the conditioned souls be relieved of their addiction to hearing and chanting about their own heroic deeds or about other ordinary mundane topics. Apart from this, there is no other remedy. Nafar Babu. Then why do you not permit Lila Kirtans like Purvarag, the escalating love before the first meeting, or the kirtans of the Padavali singers to be arranged here at the Gauḍīya Math or in Mayapur? So yeah, why don't you have all these professional Lila Kirtan singers or professional Padavali singers come to do kirtan in Gauḍīya Math or Mayapur? Śrīla Prabhupāda. There is a distinction between Lila Kirtan and Kirtan in relation to Shringar Ras, transcendental amour. Jivas who are full of anarthas, conditioning that is opposed to true well-being, they can perform Shravan and Kirtan of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or of the childhood pastimes of Sri Krishna. But if they try to hear or sing kirtan in relation to the pastimes of Shringar Ras, it will do their spiritual life more harm than good. Okay, so jivas who are full of anarthas, they can perform Shravan and Kirtan of Mahaprabhu's pastimes or the childhood pastimes of Krishna, but not Shringar Ras. It will do them their spiritual life more harm than good. Nafar Babu. But at least devotees can engage in hearing and singing about it. What is objectionable in that? Śrīla Prabhupāda. But who will distinguish the devotees from the non-devotees? And why would devotees subordinately accept the rulings of materialists in assessing and determining who is and who is not a devotee? Devotees will themselves engage in kirtan. Why would they mix with the society of non-devotees and go to hear the kirtan of a hired performance artist? Now, here's the key point. This is what the title of this article is coming from. Kirtan should be heard exclusively from the lips of Sri Gurudev. Okay, let's reread that. Kirtan should be heard exclusively from the lips of Sri Gurudev. Genuine devotees reflect, I will never listen to any kirtan apart from the kirtan emanating from the lotus lips of Srila Gurudev. That is to say, I will only listen to the Sri Bhagavat Katha that once manifested from the lotus lips of Srila Shukadev Goswami and to the Sankirtan prescribed and performed by Sri Gaur Hari. In other words, Sri Rupanuga Sankirtan, Sri Rupanuga Sankirtan, which are received through the Shrota Parampara. And the Shrota Parampara refers to the disciplic line. It goes from, the parampara that goes from one guru to the next through to the disciplic line of oral reception. So they heard from that guru and then like that. Shrota means to hear, parampara. How do they define it here? The Shrota Parampara refers to the succession of authentic spiritual masters through which the message of Godhead is transmitted by means of oral reception. Now, genuine devotees of Bhagavan never listen to any other kirtan, especially kirtan performed by hired performance artists, professional consorts, ignoble women, businessmen, materialists, or the public performances organized by Pancha Mishali and Bawari groups. What's Pancha Mishali and Bawari? Let's see. It says, Pancha Mishali is a band comprised of 5 kinds of performance artists with distinct styles who have joined for a public performance. Okay? And then the Bharawari is a public performance by and among friends. Interesting. I want to look that up more. Anyway, so genuine devotees of Bhagavan never listen to any other kirtan, especially kirtan performed by all these people, hired performance artists, blah, 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 blah. We should only hear kirtan from those who have the same spiritual aspirations as we do, whose hearts are inclined toward Bhagavan with the same special mood as our own, and who are more advanced than we are. One will never attain any spiritual benefit by hearing kirtan from a worldly materialist who just wants to acquire wealth, women, and recognition. Okay, so we should only hear kirtan from those who have the same spiritual aspirations as we do, whose hearts are inclined toward Bhagavan with the same special mood as our own, and who are more advanced than we. We won't attain any spiritual benefit by hearing kirtan from worldly materialists who just want Kanak, Kamani, and Pratishta. Nafar Babu. But Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur did listen to and organize professional kirtan performances. So were his actions the antithesis of bhakti? Śrīla Prabhupāda. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur never, ever listens to kirtan sung by professionals, materialists, debauchees, or wanton women. A trained female elephant may be employed to capture a wild male elephant, and thereafter to relieve him of his madness. In the same fashion, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur was merely using cleverness to gradually rescue common men from their intoxicated stupor, men who are grossly absorbed in transient material pursuits, and hence fond of the fleeting fashions of society. If those who have become addicted to hearing such songs happen to visit Sri Mayapur on account of heeding the dictates of their own greed, then, by the influence of the holy Dham and by the strength of associating with sadhus, they may gradually attain spiritual welfare. By unknowingly rendering some service to Sri Gaur Hari's holy Dham, a powerful semblance of devotion may arise in their hearts. If those who are completely addicted to hearing such songs do not get to hear the music that is nectar to their ears, they may remain totally averse to visiting the Dham and will thus be deprived of the fortune of listening to the Harikatha of the sadhus. It was solely with this consideration that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur had employed such tactics. This is truly a sign of his mercy. To those upon whom he bestowed his genuine mercy, he specifically cautioned from the very beginning never to hear the melodic songs of mundane professional singers. He used to warn me, "Beware, you should not go to that side. You should never, ever listen to Harikatha from the mouth of a professional speaker, from a mundane woman, or from a non-devotee. You should never listen to any katha apart from the Harikatha emanating from the lotus mouth of Srila Gurudev." Nafar Babu. Then, did he used to preach in two different ways? One for his internal associates, Antaranga, and another for outsiders, Bahiranga? Śrīla Prabhupada. There is no such imposed division between Antaranga and Bahiranga. Those who, with their life and soul, have accepted and will continue to accept his genuine mercy and unpalatably strong words of truth will alone be able to become Antaranga. Those who have accepted or will continue to accept their own sense gratification or transient comforts will remain Bahiranga. In the magazine of Sri Sajantoshini and books like Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita and Sri Jaivadharma, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur has addressed the subject of hearing Ras Kirtan in length. In his article, Bhaktisiddhānta Viruddha and Rasa Bhas, which was published in Sri Sajantoshini, Volume 6, Issue 2, and which you may have previously read, he wrote, and at the end, if there is time, then I would like to read this full article, which I found on Bhaktivinoda Institute. But yeah, in this article, he wrote, "There is no place for Bhakti Virud Siddhanta or Rasabhas in the statements of a Mahajan, a renowned spiritual authority. A singer or anyone who is a rasagya, who is not conversant in the science of ras tattva, while combining syllables, may haphazardly compose something that is a rasabhas and contrary to the principles of devotion. The philosophical conclusions, the siddhanta of Vaishnavism, are extremely profound. Those who have deliberated upon pure Vaishnava dharma for a long time in the association of sadhus will definitely be free from opposing siddhanta. But those who perform lila kirtans professionally never associate with genuine sadhus, nor are they conversant with the siddhanta of Vaishnavas. So their words hurt the Vaishnav's ears as much as the fiercest thunder." Within this topic, there is another grave point to consider. This is still Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur's article. Within this, there's another grave point to consider. Singing and listening to the Shringar Lila of Shri Shri Radha Govinda is the topmost form of worship, and it constitutes Nitya Bhajan, eternal perfected internal service. It is improper and offensive if we listen to rasa gan, songs about the most private matters of ras, from the mouths of professional singers who are womanizers and hungry for worldly recognition. Yeah, if we listen to rasgan from the mouths of professional singers who are hungry for worldly recognition, we dishonor our previous acharya's statements, which is apana bhajana katha na kohibe jatha tatha. The meaning is, do not give an open account of your personal bhajan just anywhere. That's from Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Song 9, verse 19. And thus, we commit a terrible offense. Whenever there is a gathering of people with varying degrees of spiritual qualification, it is appropriate to chant Harinam and to sing humble prayers, prarthana, and narrations of pastimes that pertain to the transcendental moods of dasya ras, that is, the moods of a loving servant of the Supreme Lord. Only when everyone present in the gathering is pure and exclusively devoted an exclusively devoted Vaishnava established in the art of relishing ras, a Shuddha Rasik Vaishnav. Only then may they listen to the most elevated rasagan. At that time, they may experience the ecstasies of their perfected internal service in accordance with their intrinsic spiritual form. Okay, so this rasagan is only to be done in a company of very pure and exclusively devoted Vaishnavas who are rasik. Only then can you sing these elevated rasagan. But in the public, only songs that pertain to the moods of dasyaras, sorry, like all these Sharnagati songs that we're learning, only those songs should be sung. Yet, even if by this strict prohibition, the tradition of rasgan ceases to exist, then let it be so. For even in that, there will be welfare for the Vaishnavas. To allow elevated rasgan to be performed openly here and there by those whose sole aim is to collect money and gratify their senses is no less than the act of Kali. Okay, so that was all from that article. Now, Nafar Bapu. Then is it that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not himself follow what he preached to others? When he did not object to the performance of Ras Kirtan by professional singers at Sri Mayapur, and in fact encouraged it, then did his preaching and his actions not contradict each other? Śrīla Prabhupāda. After some time, my contemporaries might also talk about me along the same lines. Some people think that just because I do not object to or directly oppose various things, it implies that I agree with them. Such people will only be deprived, for in reality, I have some other profound objective. Srimad Bhagavatarthanam asvado rasikai saha sajatiya shaye snegde sadho sangat sato vare. It's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Purva Vibhag 240, quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22:131. The meaning is, a practicing devotee should relish the deep meanings of Srimad Bhagavatam in the company of Rasik Vaishnavas, associating in this way with elevated Vaishnav saints who have spiritual aspirations similar to his own. So that means sajatiya, right? Sajatiya, ashaya, taking shelter of a sajatiya. That means they have this spiritual aspirations similar to his own, and who are affectionately disposed towards him. That's snigdhe. Then, this is the greatest thing he can do for himself. So what is that? Relishing the deep meanings of Srimad Bhagavatam in the company of Rasik Vaishnavas who have the same spiritual aspiration and who are affectionately disposed towards you. This is the greatest thing a person can do for himself in his spiritual life. Those who are concerned about their own spiritual welfare should always remember this verse composed by Śrīla Rupa Goswami. If someone can help me achieve my objective in totality, only then will I approach him. If I want to become wealthy, I will approach someone wealthier than myself. If I were to approach a poor man or one less wealthy than I, he would surely want to siphon from my wealth and gradually make me penniless. We should only hear Harikatha from those who have bound Sri Hari with the ropes of their love so tightly that he can never escape from their hearts, and who are 100% absorbed in rendering loving service to him. Wow, beautiful. So who should we hear Harikatha from? Those who have bound Sri Hari with the ropes of their love so tightly that he cannot escape from their hearts, and who are 100% absorbed in rendering loving service to him. Harikatha should only be heard from Śrīla Gurudev. Harikatha should only be heard from Śrīla Gurudev. One should never hear from Laghu. And the word guru literally means heavy, and it means heavy, grave, or immovable. And its antonym, the opposite of that, is laghu, which means light, superficial, or whimsical. So we should hear from Guru, not from Laghu. Only those who have truly accomplished Shravan, hearing of Harikatha, can subsequently engage in genuine kirtan. Just as sons only become fathers, siring sons of their own in their maturity. Yes. So when we've heard kirtan from the lips of Sri Guru, and like we've properly heard it, we've done Shravan. It doesn't just mean physically hearing, but Shravan actually means hearing with a mood of surrender and with faith, and you're actually following what you're hearing. That's Shravan. So once you do that, then you mature, and then you're able to speak Harikatha. You can engage in genuine kirtan. That's when real kirtan will happen. And that's just as sons only become fathers, siring their own sons in their maturity. Therefore, one should not hear Harikatha from those who have not realized the topics of Harikatha that they try to speak about, and who have been unable to assimilate those topics or follow them in their own lives. If, first of all, I myself am unable to completely assimilate and follow the topics of Harikatha, and then after that, I take advice from someone who is equally unqualified, I will be inviting greater trouble. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur used to organize professional song performances for unworthy, fashionable men. But those performances were by no means the final objective he cherished. He fostered the hope that his so-called relatives and all others would secure the same immense benefit as he had by serving Sriman Mahaprabhu. To the public, he appeared to be like a common man of this world. So, considering the eligibilities of all these people, he implemented various strategies to attract them to the lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu. But his instructions to me were, never listen to Harikatha from someone who is not practicing its teachings himself. If your own practices are lacking, then do not jump to preach Harikatha. Preach to yourself behind closed doors. In order to truly discern the spiritual practices of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one must have the right kind of vision. Many have feigned close association with him, but in spite of seeing and hearing his personal practices, his achar and his preaching, his prachar, they could not truly see or hear anything about him. And we spent, I don't even know how many days, it was like 16 days or something like that, or more than that, 20 days. No, I can't remember, but it was many days going over this article where he's mentioning this point in a very strong way. Yeah. So this very important point, very like prominent teaching of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Prabhupāda. So Nafar Babu, the very prohibitions he gave you, he also warned me about in the same manner. And let's just reread that prohibition. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur said, never listen to Harikatha from someone who is not practicing its teachings himself. If your own practices are lacking, then do not jump to preach Harikatha. Preach to yourself behind closed doors. Okay. So, Yeah, so he warned me in the same manner, Nafal Babu says, and Śrīla Prabhupada. The only reason I mingle with others is because of his instructions to me. I tell people, you should hear Harikatha at every moment. Now, this is really strong. Listen to this. So I tell people you should hear Harikatha at every moment. If someone says, but my son is on the verge of death, then I reply, even if your son is about to die, let him. You should listen to Harikatha. Wow. Even if your son is about to die, let him. But you should listen to Harikatha. One has to overcome feebleness of mind. The mind, which is bent on material sense gratification, must be diverted towards Sri Krishna. Whatever is already fixed in one's destiny will inevitably come true of its own accord. What is the need for separately endeavoring anew for the same results? If one must engage in new endeavors, then they should be for Hari Bhajan. And yet, I only consider those who induce me to seek happiness and sense pleasure to be my own kin. I never heed those who prohibit sense pleasures. Rather, presuming such people to be quite outside my own clan, I become their enemy. That was translated from Weekly Gauḍīya, Year 9, Issue 7, September 1930. Wow, very heavy article, but very important article also. Does anybody have any points that they would like to mention on this topic? On any of these topics that we've read about? Any questions or any points that they want to mention? And if not, then we can go over now and read this article, Rasa Bhaktisiddhānta and Bhaktisiddhānta Birud by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī. Yes. Oh, Chatamai Mataji.
All glorious devotees. Prabhu, the question comes to my mind, how can we determine whether someone who is giving Harikatha is actually practicing their sadhana properly? We're not there in private with them, so sometimes we don't have access to this information. How can we safely presume?
That's a very good question, a very important question. There's a whole article by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Gosvāmī, one of my favorite articles. It's the title of it is "One Must Correctly Identify a Vaishnava," and so he goes into depth in there. How do we actually identify a Vaishnava? How do we? And there's a bunch of points in that article, because yeah, it's a totally different thing. It's the Vaishnavas. What we see external. We have to go a lot more deeper than just seeing the externals. Externally, somebody might be, it might seem like they're doing everything right. They're chanting 64 rounds a day. They're doing lots of service and they're doing so many things. But who knows what's going on inside their hearts? Are they actually doing it for the pleasure of Sri Guru, Hari Guru and Vaishnavas? Or are they doing it for pratishtha or for any other purpose? So we can't see inside somebody's heart, and that's why at our stage, like at least speaking for myself, at like the Kanishta level, Kanishta is not able to recognize who is truly a Vaishnava. Yeah, but by being in the association of genuine Vaishnavas, and by hearing Harikatha from them and by following them, then they raise us to the Madhyam platform, and then we're able to truly recognize them and other Vaishnavas as well. But there's one point that my Param Gurudev recognized, that he says that he mentioned a point that even the demigods are unable to recognize a Vaishnava. Even the demigods who, like, we're just human beings with our like understandings or whatever. Demigods have infinitely greater intelligence than we do. They know the Shastras, they know everything, and even they are unable to recognize the Vaishnava. So where does that leave me? Like, how will I be able to recognize a Vaishnava? And so he said, he gave a very beautiful example that the king might not be able to recognize my mother, that this is my mother. But I surely will know that this is my mother, even though I'm a baby. I don't know anything, but I know that this is my mother. And so many people have come, like all to see all the hippies that came to Śrīla Prabhupada, even though they didn't know anything at all. They didn't know nothing. And they had all sorts of terrible habits and everything. But when they were in the company of Śrīla Prabhupada, there is something so deep that it can't be explained that knew, yes, I found my master. This is, this is my, and so, and they knew it more than anything. And so there's something, when we come in contact with a genuine Vaishnava, then we will know something in our heart. Like there'll be some indication, yes, Chaitya Guru in our heart, Paramatma also will, be directing us and giving us encouragement. But if we just go to hear from people that we like, they have a nice personality, they're very generous, they seem to be very humble, they have all these good qualities, everything that they speak is just from the scriptures and like that, they might not be a genuine Vaishnava. And so we have to be very careful about if this is, yeah, I mean, it's a whole topic, and but that's why also we really need to pray. There's especially the song by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, Koro E Dase. That's why he gave us these songs, so that we can pray. There's also another song, Kabe Mui Vaishnava Chinibo, Hari Hari. When it's a whole song praying, when will I be able to recognize who is a Vaishnava? The whole song is on this topic. It's a beautiful song. But yeah, this song, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, we pray, Sakale Saman Korite Shakati Deho Nata Jata Jata. When will I be able to give honor to everybody according to their level? And it's only at that time that Tabeto Gaibo Harinama Suke Aparad Habehata, that I'll be able to chant Harinam Sankirtan pure happily. I'll have taste for Kirtan, for Harinam. And because all aparad habehata, all my offenses will go away. It's our offenses which is blocking us from being able to recognize Vaishnavas, from being able to chant Harinam, from all these things. And so that's why we pray that we can really be able to recognize and honor accordingly, everybody on their level. And the whole rest of the songs also praying for this. So, and just one other thing, like, we should always look to see how much is somebody dedicated to serving their guru, to pleasing their guru. Are they only speaking that which they've heard from the lips of Sri Guru? Are they trying to follow those instructions? Are they sincere? Are they really, like, it doesn't mean that we should, like, if somebody, like we read a whole bunch of times that we should only hear Hari Katha coming from the lips of Sri Gurudev. But that doesn't mean that, whatever devotees giving class in the temple room, I only listen to the lips of Sri Guru. No, but we should see, we're all hearing Hari Katha from our acharyas. And so if we try to also speak what we've heard from them without mixing in our own conceptions and everything, but we try to just repeat what we've understood from their teachings sincerely, then yes, we should hear that Hari Katha also. Because that's also the Hari Katha coming from the lips of Sri Guru, even though it's not coming directly from Sri Guru, it's what devotees have heard from Sri Guru. So if there's Hari Katha like that, and a devotee is sincerely trying at whatever level he's at, but he's sincerely trying, then we should also hear that, like, that Hari Katha is also good. Yeah, I mean, we should definitely listen to that Hari Katha and also speak like that, what we've heard. I don't know. Sorry, I went all over the place with that, and that was just what came to my mind now. Does anybody else have anything else to say on that topic? Oh, Hari Bol Manjulali Didi, I didn't see you there, and Archana Didi, and yeah, Anjali Didi, Champak Mataji. Wow. All right, so if anybody, if nobody has anything else to say, then we can move over to this article by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is it called? Bhaktisiddhānta Virudh and Rasabhas. Okay, let's do that. All right, just opening it up. Cool. This is the article. I found it on bhaktivinodinstitute.org. Opposition to the conclusions of bhakti and incompatible ras. This is translated by somebody named Swami Bibi Giri. I don't know who that is, but anyhow. Okay, so here, let's read it on this. And where was this published originally? It doesn't tell. Anyways, but yeah, this is Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. This is the article that Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada was quoting from. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see the following verse. Bhaktisiddhānta virud ara rasa bhas shunite na hoy prabhur chitter ulas. Is this too small? Maybe I should move it over to on a Word doc and then I can make it bigger. I'll do that. Let's move it here. Okay, there. Now you can read it better, right? Where is it? Is it the top? Okay, sorry about that. And let's make this all, sorry, I'm just going to make this Balaram U. There, okay. So there's that verse. Bhaktisiddhānta virud arasabhas shunite nahoy prabhur chitter ulas. The Lord's heart felt no joy in hearing rasabhas and anything opposed to the conclusions of bhakti. It's Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 10:113. There are many substantial teachings in this verse. There are various schools of kirtan nowadays. They refer to their songs as Manohar Shahi. And Manohar Shahi is the kirtan style of, I think it's either Srinivas or Shamananda Rule. Let's see, actually. Manohar Shahi. Anyways.
Srinivas.
It's Srinivas, huh? Okay, thank you. I always get mixed up, Srinivas or Shamananda. Okay, it's Srinivas. So they refer to their songs as Manohar Shahi. The tradition of their songs is that they first play the kol, mridanga. After that is the sura, the melody. I used to listen to a lot of these kinds of kirtans. The first they do a whole mridanga thing. I used to even know them by heart. Like that. Anyways. Then when the surah is set, they sing a song about Gaurachandra. You can find lots of these on YouTube. The ras in Gaurachandra's song is the same ras as the following palagan of Krishna Lila. What does that mean? So the translator's note, it says, the Bengali word pala means story. Thus, palagan or pala kirtans is a narrative about a particular lila of Gaur or Krishna. Okay, so like lila kirtan also, I guess. So the ras in the Gaurachandra song is the same ras as the following palagan of Krishna Lila. At the time of the Gaurachandra song, the singers, musicians, and listeners stand up. When the song about Gaur is over, everyone sits down and sings and listens to the song about Krishna. The palas are full of songs by the previous Mahajans. The householder who performs the song arranges for garlands and sandalwood and first places them upon the mridanga, then offers them to the singers, then the musicians, and then the audience. Yeah, and you'll see this being practiced all over Bengal. It's a very common thing. If you ever come to Navadvip during the time, you'll see that they'll do this exact same sequence. Although the name of these songs are commonly called Manohar Shahi, research reveals that that not all the songs are Manohar Shahi. The seeds of such songs in Kirtan were sown under Sri Sarup Swarup Goswami's inspection of tattva during the time of Sriman Mahaprabhu. But at that time, it was not very systematic. It was standardized during the time of Srinivasacharya. Srinivasacharya, Śrīla Narottam Das, and Sri Shyamananda, these three Mahatmas resided for some time in Sri Vrindavan as the disciples of Sri Jiva Goswami. They arranged the kirtan system with the approval of Srila Jiva Goswami. The three of them were Maha Mahopadhyayas. They were the greatest scholars. And also means instructors, right? No, greatest scholars. Let's just say greatest scholars. They were the Maha Mahopadhyayas in Sangit Shastra, the Shastra dealing with music. All three were experts in the knowledge of the Kalavati style of Delhi. The three of them were of one soul, one intention, and devoted friends. However, these three Mahatmas were from different provinces. Srinivasacharya illuminated the province of Katwa. His province belongs to the Manohara Shahi region. The style of songs that he introduced is called Manohara Shahi. Okay, so that the reason why it's called Manohara Shahi is because it comes from his region, the Manohara Shahi region. Śrīla Narottam Das was a resident of Keturigram in Garanhati, or the region of Gaderhata of Rajshahi district. The style of songs that he introduced is called Garanhati. And Sri Shyamananda was from Medinipur district. The style of songs that he introduced is known as Renati. Sri Jiva Goswami gave Srinivasacharya the title of Prabhu, Śrīla Narottam Das the title of Thakur, and Sri Shyamananda the title of Prabhu in order to encourage these three Gana Acharyas, these Acharyas of devotional songs. Sri Jiva Goswami was naturally supremely magnanimous and endowed with all transcendental qualities. Since Acharya Prabhu was, that means Srinivasacharya, right? Since Acharya Prabhu was a Brahman, there is no objection to him receiving the title of Prabhu. Sri Narottam Das was born in the Kayastha caste, and Sri Shyamananda appeared in the Sargopa caste. Judging by their merits and greatness, it is only right that the Vaishnava Acharya should have given them the titles of Thakur and Prabhu. Encouraged by the approval of Sri Jiva Goswami, the three Gita Acharyas went to their respective provinces. These three Mahatmas are ornaments of the land of Gauḍīya. It seems that they were not as learned in Sanskrit as the Goswamis. This is because no Sanskrit texts written by them can be found, except Śrīla Gosvāmī Ashtakam is written by Srinivasacharya, isn't it? But they were learned in Vraj Ras Bhajan, Vaishnav Siddhanta, and expert in music. After Sriman Mahaprabhu's disappearance, the Vaishnav world became devastated. Due to a lack of suitable recipients in the Prabhu Vangsha, in the lineage of Advaita and Nityananda, and the introduction of various doctrines, the land of Gauḍīya deteriorated without the authority of Acharyas. Due to the unique nature of Virachandra Prabhu, he could not bring all of Gauḍīya Bhumi under his control. There was a great disturbance amongst the sons. There's a great disturbance amongst the sons of Srila Advaita. All of Mahaprabhu's great associates began to disappear. At this opportunity, the propounders of evil doctrines, such as Baul, Sahajya, Daravesh, Sain, etc., began to spread their propaganda in different places. It's Sai, right? Sai. Anyways, there is some special faith in the names of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda amongst the common folk. In order to do their own thing, they began to teach an evil path to these unfortunate jivas. At that time, Sri Jiva Goswami was the only Vaishnavacharya. As a resident of Braj, he was saddened by the miserable condition of Gauḍīya Mandal. So he established Srinivasa Acharya Prabhu, Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya, and Sri Shyamananda Prabhu as the religious reformers of Gauḍa Bhumi, and they took all the books on Siddhanta composed by the Lord's associates to Gauḍa. By the will of Mahaprabhu, all these books were stolen. Without those books, these missionaries began to propagate pure Vaishnava Dharma on the strength of their own bhajan and system of songs. So I wonder if that whole pastime, that the purpose of that whole pastime was to split them up so that they could spread the message in all these different parts. What is it? King Birahambir, right? That's who stole them, right? Anyways. At this time, their methods of singing were strongly propagated in their respective provinces. From time to time, the three acharyas would gather at Keturi, Vishnupur, Navagram, Gopi Vallabhpur, etc. for installing deities and other activities. And on those occasions, they would discuss and plan things with each other. Due to their efforts, the pure Dharma of the Vaishnavas was revived and promulgated more than before. It is no exaggeration to say that these three preachers were the chief ornaments of Gauḍa Bhumi. The age of Kali is so terrible that it does not allow good deeds to last long. I'm sorry. Yeah, the age of Kali is so terrible that it does not allow good deeds to last long. After the words of the three acharyas and their follower, Sri Govindadas and other Mahajans were neglected, the supreme Dharma immediately became degraded again. In Gauḍa Bhumi, discussions on pure bhakti became obsolete. Whether they were a Vaishnav, a Shakta, or a Karmakandi, whoever they may be, the Acharya families began the work of preachers, as one does in Vaishnava Dharma. After much difficulty, Sri Gauranga, Nityananda, Advaita, and the pure Vaishnava Dharma introduced by them gradually became remote. Meanwhile, during such turmoil amongst the acharyas, again there was disturbance from the Bauls, Sahajiyas, etc., which gradually increased. The plight of Vaishnava Dharma is still evident today for these reasons. Conclusions that are averse to Vaishnavas can be observed everywhere in the world. Some follow Mayavad as Vaishnava Dharma. Some take the pure Dharma and combine it with Mayavad and Karmavad and propagate a mutated form of Vaishnava Dharma. Then there are those who are innocent. This is the definition of a Kanishta from Srimad Bhagavatam. Acharyam eva haraye ya pujam shraddhaye hate yathar bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smrita. It's from 11th Canto, Chapter 2, verse 47. Means one who faithfully and respectfully worships the deity, but does not respect other devotees or people in general, should be thought of as a neophyte devotee, a Kanishta devotee. According to this rule, such a person is situated as a Kanishta Vaishnava. There is a complete lack of intelligent pure Vaishnavas. The condition of Gauḍa Mandal nowadays is the same as the state of the jivas, where there is a lack of proper teachers. We do not have the scope to discuss here all the unfortunate events that have occurred. I will conclude this article by discussing some of the nuances that have arisen regarding the music introduced by the aforesaid three acharyas. Nowadays, the Garanhati Kirtan has almost become obsolete. Some persons know authentic Manohar Sahi Kirtan. There's no system of adding new words in authentic Manohar Sahi Kirtan. The words that the Mahajans have included in their songs make up the song itself. The Manohar Sahi songs are of a wonderful style. Repeating a verse 2 or 4 times invokes bhav in the heart of the listener. The words of the Mahajans are devoid of rasa bhas, incompatible rasas, or conclusions that are in opposition to Vaishnavism. When persons do not know the concepts of ras, or singers add in their own words, it only creates trouble, and their words are rasabhas and opposed to Siddhanta. Vaishnava Siddhanta is extremely deep. if pure Vaishnava Dharma is not discussed for many days in the company of sadhus, it is inevitable that opposing conclusions will ensue. Vaishnava Ras is supremely esoteric. The Ras in mundane embellishments created by professors and the Ras in the embellishments of transcendental Vaishnavas are naturally different. Yes. Professional singers do not associate with real sadhus, nor do they understand Vaishnava Siddhanta properly. Therefore, their words fall like a thunderbolt on the Vaishnav's ears. Manohara Sahi songs are sung by very few people. Listening to their songs is an addition to one's hearing. After the demise of Ustadji Vaishnav Das, Shri Advaita Das of Kulia in Navadip, Raghabhushan Rasika Lala Datta of Lakuria, and Shri Yuta Varada Prasad Bagji Mahashai of Rangapur, etc., still preserve the Manohara Sahi songs. I wonder if this Manohara Sahi style of Srinivasacharya is still purely performed anywhere. That would be very nice to hear. Those who experience Ras even once after listening to their songs will no longer be interested in listening to the songs of those professional schools that are only interested in money. Nowadays, professional business singers only sing the Renati style for entertainment. That was the style of Shyamananda Prabhu, right? In order to maintain some position amongst the Vaishnavas, occasionally they may sing an authentic song. Amongst the professional singers, Venidas has some understanding of Ras. Everyone else is just a Rasik by name only. They have no concept of Ras, and what they speak about is opposed to Vaishnava Siddhanta. There is plenty of raga, ragini, entertainment, etc. in their songs, but not many Vaishnavas sing amongst their listeners. They add so many extra words to their songs with the intention of satisfying the assembled women and idiots that it is not known where the Mahajan's words are. The fools applaud, they give money, and that is why they are full of so much false ego. Again, there is no consideration about the time of a particular ras. In Vaishnav Tattva, it is proper that the Nishanta Lila, pastimes at the end of the night, should be first. That's how Bhajan Rahasya starts, right? It begins with Nishanta Lila. These dishonest entertainers sing about the Nishanta Lila at the end. This is opposed to Vaishnava Siddhanta. One other point within this, which is terrible. The songs concerning Shri Radha Govinda's Shringar Lila. Anyways, one other point within this is terrible. The songs concerning Shri Radha Govinda's Shringar Lila and listening to them are our main worship and eternal bhajan. Yes, this is our main worship and eternal bhajan. It is improper and offensive to listen about this bhajan lila and to sing about this bhajan lila to the whole public. Apana bhajana kata na kohibe jata tata. Do not discuss your bhajan here and there. That's Srila Narottam Das Thakur. If one has faith in this Acharya's words, then it makes it an aparad to hear songs about ras from the mouths of professional money-grabbing singers. At a previous Ganotsav, a previous song festival, a Vaishnav Mahatma from Birbhum went to Sri Kulia and Navadip to listen to the music. There were songs about Sambhog Ras, Radha and Krishna's union, being sung by all kinds of people. At that, he became appalled and left. Such offenses by singers and listeners have become rampant nowadays. Most people in the world are perverted. They love entertainment and they do whatever they want in the name of real bhajan. As long as this evil practice is not stopped, there will be no gravity to Shringar Ras. O devotees, do not listen to songs on Ras and assemblies of self-serving singers and listeners who find pleasure in mundanity. leave that Shraddha assembly far behind. we all know what Shraddha is, right? That's what the let's see how he translates it. A Shraddha assembly, a Shraddha Sabha, is a gathering to honor a dead relative. So yeah, don't leave that Shraddha assembly far behind. Please take care that in the assembly of Vaishnavas, this method does not become present. Whenever those of different qualifications are in attendance, one should sing the holy name, prayers and songs about Dasya Ras, and whenever pure Rasik Vaishnavas are present, one may listen to songs about Ras. And at the time of hearing such songs, one will eventually become eligible for one's Siddha Swarup, one's eternal spiritual form, experiencing the bhav of bhajan. If this method of singing becomes obsolete, then so be it. That is also auspicious for the Vaishnavas. The practice of singing songs on ras here and there by those who are greedy for money and wish to enjoy their senses gives Kali an occupation. Okay, so that is our program for today. I'm going to do a short Jayadvani, and then for those who want to stay longer, I'm going to read about Vakareshwar Pandit from Śrīla Bhakti. But I'm going to do Jayadvani now, just to end the program for those who aren't able to stay. So, well, I'll just do a quick Maha Mantra. And then. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Oh, and Shubhananda Prabhu, yes, I can share both of these articles in the WhatsApp group. Yes, I will do that. All right. Jai Shri Sakshinanda Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapashad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Jagat Guru Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda Ki Jai, all of his followers Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, all the pure Kirtan, Harikatha coming from the lips of Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur and their followers Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Hare Krishna. All right, so, Shri Vakareshwar Pandit Ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi Ki Jai, and Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj's beautiful book, Sri Chaitanya and his Associates Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All right, so we're going to, for any of those who want to stay longer, we're going to read now from that book, Sri Chaitanya and his Associates. And if anybody needs to leave now, Dandavat Pranams, thank you so much for joining, and see you tomorrow for the Bhakti Vinod Kiti Dhara program. Don't know which song we're going over tomorrow. Anyways, I'll look later. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, and now we're going to read about Shri Vakareshwar Pandit. from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī. Where is it? There. Vyuhasturyo niruddhoya Savakreshvara Pandita Krishna Vesha Nrityena Prabhu Sukam Aji Janat. And it says that this will only take 4 minutes to read. Probably take longer though, because I'm reading out loud. But Sahasra Gayakan Mahyam Dehi Tvam Karuna Maya Iti Chaitanya Paresa Uvacha Madurang Vacha Swaprakasha Vibhedena Shashireka Tamavishat. Okay, so that's Gaur Ganadishtivika, verse 71. Vakreshwar Pandit is the fourth member of the Chatur Vyuha, Aniruddha. He brought happiness to the Lord by dancing in the absorption of Krishna. He would sweetly say to Mahaprabhu, "O merciful Lord, give me 1,000 singers so that I can dance." Radha's dear Saki, Shashi Rekha, also entered into him. Okay, so Vakreshwar Pandit is Aniruddha, and also Radha's dear Saki, Shashi Rekha. Okay, so Sri Vakreshwar Pandit revealed such great potency that he danced non-stop for 3 days. How is that? 72 hours? I think so. I think it's 72 hours. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote the following summary of Vakreshwar Pandit. Okay, so this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 10, verses 17 to 20. It says, Vakreshwar Pandit is the Lord's dear servant. He danced without rest for 72 hours. Mahaprabhu personally sang when Vakreshwar Pandit danced. And thus Vakreshwar Pandit fell down at the Lord's feet and said, "O moon-faced Lord, give me 10,000 Gandharvas. It will make me happy if I can dance as they sing." The Lord answered, "I have only one wing like you. If I had another, I could fly in the sky." Vakreshwar and Devananda Pandit. Vakreshwar was also present in the kirtans at the houses of Srivas and Chandrasekhar, where he would dance enthusiastically. Vakreshwar Pandit was so dear to Mahaprabhu that Devananda Pandit was freed of his offenses to Srivas Pandit and received Mahaprabhu's mercy through serving him. In answer to a Brahman's question, Mahaprabhu explained how to atone for offenses to the Vaishnavas. Now this is a quote from, wow, long quote. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter 3, verses 449 to 458. So Mahaprabhu says, he's explaining how to atone for offenses to Vaishnavas. He says, "Listen, Brahman, if you want to be cured after consuming poison, you must ingest ambrosia through the very same mouth that took the poison. That way, not only will the poison be digested, but your body will become immortal through the ambrosia's divine power. Now let me answer your question. Whatever blasphemies you have unknowingly made are exactly like the poison that you have eaten. Now you must use the same mouth to constantly glorify Krishna's name and qualities, which are like ambrosia. You have used your tongue to insult the devotees. Now use it to glorify them. Glorify the devotees in songs and poetry as the best of humanity. I will destroy all the poison of blasphemy through the ambrosia of the ecstasies of Krishna's glories. Everyone has unknowingly committed offenses. This is the truth. If you should stop all kinds of offensive activity and simply engage in praising Krishna and his devotees, then you will be freed from all the sins you have committed. However numerous they may be." Yes. If you should stop all kinds of offensive activity and simply engage in praising Krishna and his devotees, then you'll be free from all the sins you have committed, however numerous they may be. You will not be able to achieve the same results through millions of other atonements. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Thakur comments, "An offensive person will only attain the ultimate good by using the tongue with which he made his blasphemous comments to acknowledge his offense, and then to glorify Krishna's devotees. If you take poison, it will disrupt the body's functioning. But you can remedy the situation by taking a medicine that destroys its effects. Similarly, the way to become free from the effects of offenses to Vaishnav is to first of all stop the poisonous activity. Then, rather than performing thousands of other ineffective atonement rituals, one should glorify the Vaishnav. Any kind of other atonement is ineffective. Only glorifying the Vaishnavas will have the effect. Through serving the devotee, Kulia's Devananda Pandit became a believer in Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. This is still Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada. This good fortune visited him when Vakreshwar came to stay in his house. Devananda Pandit was a follower of the Smarta path, but was nevertheless a great scholar and very renounced. He read no scripture other than the Srimad Bhagavatam. He was devoted to the Supreme Lord and was free from the domination of his senses. Nevertheless, he was not a believer in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By Vakreshwar's mercy, this foolish misunderstanding was dispelled, and he developed faith in the Lord. Okay, so that was all Gauḍīya Bhashya to verse 453 and 481 of that chapter, chapter 3. Now here's verses 469 to 470 of chapter 3 of Antyakanda, Chaitanya Bhagavad. Vakreshwar Pandit was very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His remembrance will purify the entire creation. He is the embodiment of Krishna Prem. He was always in ecstasy, and both gods and demons are enchanted by his dancing. Mahaprabhu himself described Vakreshwar Pandit's glories to Devananda Pandit. And this is also in the same chapter, verses 493 to 496. The Lord said, "You have served Vakreshwar and have thus come into my presence. Vakreshwar Pandit is the Lord's complete energy, so whoever pays homage to him attains Krishna. Krishna has made his home in Vakreshwar's heart, and Krishna dances in order to make Vakreshwar dance." Yes, how is Vakreshwar Pandit able to dance for 72 hours? It's because it wasn't him dancing, it was Krishna dancing in his heart, and then he was just mimicking what was happening inside his own heart, Krishna's own dancing in his heart. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī explains that. If any place becomes associated with Vakreshwar, it immediately becomes the equivalent of Vaikuntha and equal to all the holy places. After Mahaprabhu had absolved Devananda Pandit of his offenses, he affectionately gave him many instructions. Mahaprabhu said, "Those vain egoists who are proud of their scholarship cannot understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the prerogative of the surrendered devotee, the Sharanagat. The only objective of the scriptural Bhagavatam is to elucidate pure devotion. So it is not different from the pure devotee. One who speaks from Srimad Bhagavatam with this knowledge will attain the supreme auspiciousness. One who thinks, 'I understand Srimad Bhagavatam,' does not really know Srimad Bhagavatam's central meaning. On the other hand, an ignorant person who takes shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam will directly perceive its meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam is pure love and is Lord Krishna himself. Srimad Bhagavatam recounts Krishna's most intimate activities. After recounting the Vedas and the Puranas, Vedavyas felt unsatisfied, but as soon as Srimad Bhagavatam manifested on his tongue, his mind was immediately satisfied." So that's verse 5:14 to 5:18 in that same chapter. Gopal Guru Goswami. When Vakreshwar came to live at Puri, he would accompany Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya, and other devotees to Total Gopinath to hear Gadadhar Pandit give discourses on Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear the book Bhagavatam from the devotee Bhagavatam. Gopal Guru Goswami, whose previous name was Makar Dwaja Pandit, was Vakreshwar Pandit's disciple. In his childhood, Gopal Guru personally served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said that he also displayed extraordinary powers. When Abhiram Thakur came to pay him obeisances, Mahaprabhu took Gopal on his lap to protect him. right? Because whoever Abhiram Thakur offered obeisance to, if they weren't pure, then they would die. So, and any vigraha that wasn't installed would explode. So Mahaprabhu took Gopal in his lap to protect him. Mahaprabhu gave Gopal the name Guru because he instructed people to chant Krishna's names in all circumstances, whether pure or impure. He even instructed Mahaprabhu himself. Right? That's when he got that title, when Mahaprabhu held his tongue when he went to use the bathroom. And then Gopal Guru said, "Why are you holding your tongue, little child Gopal?" And Mahaprabhu said, "Well, I can't stop chanting the holy name, but when I'm doing such an impure activity like passing stool, I can't be chanting the holy name. That would be an offense to Harinam." And then little boy Gopal said, "But what if you die and then you're not chanting the holy name?" And then Mahaprabhu said, "Yes, you're right. Actually, Harinam should be chanted in any circumstance, any condition." And then he got that title, Gopal Guru. Before leaving his body, Gopal Guru turned over the service of his Radha Kanta Didi to his disciple Dhyana Chandra Goswami. That Radha Kanta Vigraha is so beautiful in Gambhira, in Toto Gopinath. Sorry, in Gambhira, Radha Kanta Mat. It's like he's almost like dancing. He's like a very medium-sized Vigraha, and he looks like he's dancing. A very sweet face. After his disappearance, when Gopal Guru's body was taken to Swargadwar to be cremated, some representatives of the king came and closed the Radha Kanta Mat. Dhyana Chandra was so distressed that he began to cry aloud. Gopal Guru arose from the funeral pyre, returned to Radha Kanta's temple, and resolved the problem before going back to the crematorium. Even after that, however, Gopal Guru appeared in Vrindavan, where devotees were amazed to witness him engaged in his devotions. A deity of Gopal Guru is still worshipped at Radha Kanta Mat. Yeah, there's a very beautiful vigraha of him there, right in front of Radha Kanta there. Many people in Odisha are initiated in Vakreshwar Pandit's line and consider themselves to be Gauḍīya Vaishnavas. During Rath Yatra at Puri, Vakreshwar was the chief dancer in the 4th Kirtan Sampradaya, whose lead singer was Govinda Ghosh. He is sometimes described as a branch of Chaitanya, or alternatively, as a branch of Gadadhar Pandit. Vakreshwar's disappearance day is the 6th day of the waxing moon Shukla Shashti and the month of Ashad, and his appearance day is on the Krishna Panchami of the month of, what month are we in now? I don't know. Anyways, in this month. I think I have it in my calendar. Anyways, doesn't matter. Jai Shiva Krishwar Pandit Ki Jai. Here's Dirk Panchang. Yeah, we're in the month of Ashad. Panchami in the month of Ashad. Krishna Paksha. Oh, so then I guess his appearance day should be coming up soon? Because it says it's on Shukla Shashti. Okay, so in the same month, but in the 6th waning mood. No, waxing mood, sorry. Yeah. Right now we're in the waning mood, the 5th day of the waning moon, and on the 6th day of the waxing moon, then it will be the disappearance day of Vakreshwar Pandit. Interesting. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. Let's see who is there. 1 second. Hare Krishna, Manjulali Didi, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Aditi Das, Sarveshwari Mataji, Chatamai Mataji, Archana Didi, and let's see, on YouTube and Facebook, Shash Sharmaji, Vidyalalasa Didi, Kishore Prabhu, and then I don't want to, Premavati Didi, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, these articles were very powerful and informative. Yes, they were, definitely. All right, Jai Shri Radhe. See you all tomorrow to go over the next Sharanagati song in our Bhakti Vinod Giti Dhara program. And it's very good that after reading this article also, both these articles, I'm feeling really happy about our program, that we're first starting with these Sharanagati songs. This is what we need for us. Like it begins with Sharanagati, and then after practicing this and for some time singing these songs and becoming absorbed, then we'll be more in a position to start singing the more high songs of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. So we're doing it all in a proper sequence. I think after a year of doing this program, we'll finally make it to the very end Gita Mala, which are all the highest songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That's the Siddhi Lalasa songs. So we're going to go through a year of practicing Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs before we make it to all these ras kirtan. So, yeah. All right. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. Does anybody, before I end this video, does anybody have anything that was on their mind that they wanted to say? If not, I'll end it here. All right. Jai Shri Radhe. Yep. Okay. Haribol. See you tomorrow.